Hey guys, it's Mr. Co. I'm here to go over the Module 7 Lesson 1 concept development with you guys. So what that means is you guys did all of Module 6 on your own from your homes as a part of your distance learning. So that's awesome. That's like quite an achievement. You guys did an entire module by yourselves. Now for Lesson 1, you are going to need the Lesson 1 practice sheet. That can be found in your math workbook if you have it, and it also can be found, there should be an announcement on our course page with a document that has the Lesson 1 and Lesson 2 practice sheets that you will need for this concept development. So our I can statement is I can create conversion tables for length, weight, and capacity units using measurement tools and use the tables to solve problems. So before we jump into filling out these charts, I'm actually going to play a part of the Zern lesson that goes along with this, because it's going to kind of introduce us to our units of pounds and ounces and help us fill out that table, or this table. So let's go ahead and get started with that. All right, so here we have the video. You guys can kind of just like sit back, relax, and I will kind of talk through it as we go.
Hi, I'm Miss Laurie and I'm so excited to Zern with you. Let's get started. This item weighs 1 ounce. Watch as I place it on this side of the scale. This item weighs 1 pound. Watch as I place it on the other side. What do you notice?
Okay. So I want you to, oh no. Give me 1 second. All right, sorry about those technical difficulties. What do we notice? Which one weighs more, the ounce or the pound? Go ahead and tell me. Maybe you sound weird to anybody who's over here and you talk to your computer. So which one weighs more? If we look at the scale, it looks like that this one is like weighted down more. It dips lower than the 1 ounce. So the 1 pound is going to be weighing more than the 1 ounce. And we're correct.
When I added the 1 pound weight to the scale, this side went down. So the pounds must weigh more than the ounce. To find out how many ounces are in 1 pound, I'll add 1 ounce weights to this side until the scale is balanced.
Okay, so how many 1 ounce weights did it take to balance the scale? That's right. If you said 16, then you would be correct, and we are. All right, so that was just to kind of get us understanding how many ounces are in a pound, and we kind of use this to show, because I don't have a scale that I can show you with, otherwise you would have had a little demo of me doing this, but unfortunately I don't have a scale. So that's why I use the Zern video, just to kind of help us understand that. So now we are ready to get out that practice sheet and start filling in the chart. All right, so now that we know that there are 16 ounces in 1 pound, we can fill out this first line of our chart here. So 1 pound is equal to 16 ounces. So how can we determine how many ounces are in 2 pounds? Think about that. How can we determine how many ounces are in 2 pounds? Well, you might have thought, oh, Mr. Co, we're just going to add on 16 more ounces, or we're going to double 16 ounces or multiply by 2, which would give us 32 ounces. All right, so now what I want you to do is I want you to fill in the rest of the chart here to tell me how many ounces are equal to 3 pounds, how many ounces are equal to 4 pounds. So go ahead and fill out the rest of the chart, and then you can pause the video and then play it whenever you are ready to go over the answer. All right, something tells me that you are ready to go over the answer. So from 16 to 32, what we did was we added 16 onto 16 to get 32. So how many ounces would be in 3 pounds? If you said 48, then you would be correct, because it's like we're adding 16 on from 32. There would be 64 ounces in 4 pounds. There would be 80 ounces in 5 pounds. There would be 96 ounces in 6 pounds. There would be 112 ounces in 7 pounds. There would be 128 ounces in 8 pounds. There would be 144 ounces in 9 pounds. And there would be 160 ounces in 10 pounds. All right, so now what I want you to do is I want you to think, what is the rule for converting pounds to ounces? So the rule for converting pounds to ounces, what is the rule for converting pounds to ounces? I want you to go ahead and think about that. So if you said that the rule for converting pounds to ounces is, add 16, then you would be correct. You can also think we take the number of pounds, LB would be pounds, and then OZ would be ounces. So the number of pounds times 16, because 16 times 1 is 16. 16 times 2 is 32. 16 times 3 is 48. So it's kind of like we're taking the number of pounds and multiplying it times 16. So either of those would work. Okay, so now I want you to think, how can we determine how many ounces are in 15 pounds? Think about that. How would we be able to determine how many ounces are in 15 pounds? So there's a couple different ways that we could figure out how many ounces are in 15 pounds. Some of you might thought like, oh, we can add 16 5 more times from 10. We can multiply 15 times 16. We can add the number of ounces in 10 pounds and 5 pounds together, because then you could think 15 is equal to 10 plus 5. How many ounces are in 10 pounds? How many ounces are in 5 pounds? Add those together. You can take 5 pounds, multiply however many ounces are in 5 pounds by 3, because 5 times 3 would be 15 pounds. So you could take 80 pounds times 3 to give you how many ounces are in 15 pounds. So I want you to take a moment to calculate the number of ounces in 15 pounds. Go ahead and pause the video, give yourself some time to work, and play it whenever you're ready to go over the answer. Okay, so I think if you are playing the video, you're ready to go over it. So what we can do is we can say that in 10 pounds, there are 160 ounces. And then in 5 pounds, there are 80 ounces. So we can add, because 10 plus 5 is 15, so that would give you 15 pounds. We could add these ounces together to give you how many ounces are in, how many ounces are in 15 pounds. we would get 240 ounces. That's one strategy. We could have done 15 times 16, because if we've got for every one of those 15, or every one of those pounds, you get 16 ounces. So 16 times 15, I'm going to use my area model. You remember the good old area model, right? So 10 times 10 would be 100. 10 times 5 would be 50. 6 times 10 would be 60. And then 6 times 5 would be 30. And then I would add those all together. So 6 plus 5 is 11, plus 3 more is 14. And as you can see, we would get that 240 ounces. The other strategy I said is you could take the amount of ounces in 5 pounds and multiply that times 3. Because 5 times 3 would be 15 pounds, so 80 times 3 should give you that amount of ounces. 8 times 3 is 0. Sorry, 3 times 0 is 0. 80, because the 8's in the tens place, times 3 is 240. Add it all together, you get 240 ounces. Make sure you guys are including those units, because we're talking about a lot of different units in lesson 1, so I need to make sure that I know that you know what units you're talking about. So make sure you are including those units in there. All right, so from that exercise, we learned that 1 pound is equal to 16 ounces. So pounds and ounces are part of what I said earlier before we started the lesson, was the customary units or customary system of measurement. So in the United States, that is what we use. We're used to yards, inches, feet, cups, ounces, gallons. In other countries, the metric system of measurement is used. So those are your grams, your kilograms, your liters, and milliliters. So, and everything we learned about in module 2. So now we are going to be investigating yards and feet. So we're going to go back to the Zern video to kind of help us do that.
This yardstick and this foot ruler are examples of customary units. Let's compare them.
Okay, so looking at this ruler, what is this ruler showing us? Is it showing us 1 foot or 1 yard? If you said 1 foot, then you would be correct, and we are. Now, what about this ruler? I want you to notice, I'm going to kind of zoom in here, like look how many inches are shown here. So what ruler does this show? If you said 1 yard, then you would be correct. And now we are going to line up these rulers with the yardstick to find out how many feet are in 1 yard. So that's 1, 2 feet, 3 feet. So it looks like we have 3 feet that are equal to 1 yard. Because if one of these is equal to 1 foot, we've got 3 of them. 1 yard is equal to 3 feet. All right, so now we are going to work this out on our conversion charts. So here we have our conversion chart from the video and lining up those rulers. We found out that there are 3 feet in 1 yard. So how many feet are in 2 yards? If you said 6 feet are in 2 yards, then you would be correct. So now what I want you to do is fill out the rest of the table. So how many feet are in 3 yards? How many feet are in 4 yards? Notice how to get from 3 to 6, we added 3. Just like when we went from pounds to ounces, we added 16. So go ahead and pause the video, give yourself some time to work and fill out the chart and play whenever you're ready to go over the answer. All right, something tells me that you are ready to go over the answer. So in 1 yard, we have 3 feet. In 2 yards, we have 6 feet. In 3 yards, we have 9 feet. And then in 4 yards, we have 12 feet. In 5 yards, we have 15 feet. In 6 yards, we have 18 feet. In 7 yards, we have 21 feet. In 8 yards, we have 24 feet. In 9 yards, we have 27 feet. And in 10 yards, we've got 30 feet. Okay, so what is your strategy to, what was your strategy to fill out this chart? Think what is the rule for converting yards to feet? What is the rule for converting yards to feet? Well, what we do is take the number of yards and multiply by 3, because if 1 yard times 3 is 3, 2 yards times 3 is 6, 3 yards times 3 is 9, 4 yards times 3 is 12. So we take the number of yards and multiply it by 3. So now what I want you to do is I want you to find the number of feet in 37 yards and 2 feet. So we've got a mixed unit here. 37 yards, 2 feet is equal to how many feet? Go ahead and pause the video to give yourself some time to work and play it whenever you're ready to go over the answer. All right, something tells me you're ready to go over the answer. So there are a number of strategies that you could have done to solve this. One of my first ones that I thought of was we can break up 37 yards into 10 yards, 10 yards, another 10 yards, and 7 yards. So 10 yards is equal to 30 feet. So we've got 30 feet, 30 feet, 30 feet. 7 yards is equal to 21 feet. And then I'm going to add them all together. So I've got 30 feet, 60 feet, 90 feet, 90 feet plus 21 feet. That would be 111 feet altogether. And then I'm going to add it on to the 2 feet I already have. So altogether, that would give me 113 feet. So I kind of broke it up into chunks to make it easier. You could have also said, oh, well, following our rule, we would take the number of yards times 3. So I could do 37 times 3. 3 ones times 7 ones is 21. 3 ones times 3 tens is 90. Add it all together, you still get that 111 feet. Can't forget to add on the 2 feet I had to begin with. We can't. That's still part of our work. We can also could have broke it apart into 30 and 7 and done 30 times 3, which is 90, 7 times 3, which is 21. Add those together, you get your 111 feet. And that kind of is similar to what we did here, but just broken up into different multiplication equations. So a lot of different ways that we could have solved here. So if you did not catch on already, our letters or whatever that we use for feet is FT. I think maybe we already knew that though. And yards would be YD. So when I say 7 YD, I'm talking about 7 yards. And when I see 30 FT, I'm talking about 30 feet. All right. So now we are ready to convert feet into inches. All All right, so to help us investigate how many inches are in a foot, we're going to go back to the Zern video.
Now let's examine just the ruler to compare inches and feet.
All right, so I want us to think inches are what than feet? Inches are smaller or bigger? Inches are bigger or smaller than feet? If you said that inches are smaller than feet, then you would be correct. All right, so how many inches are in a foot? Let's take a look here. How many inches do we see? How many inches are in a foot? I see there are 12 inches in a foot, and we are correct.
1 foot equals 12 inches. Let's continue filling out the rest of the table using whichever strategy works for you.
All right. So now we are ready to finish filling out this, or the, the feet to inches chart. So how many inches are in 1 foot? We said that there are 12 inches in 1 foot. So go ahead and pause the video to fill out the rest of this chart using whatever strategy you like, and then play it whenever you're ready to go over the answer. All right, let's go ahead and fill out the rest of this chart. So 12 inches are in 1 foot, 24 inches are in 2 feet, 36 inches are in 3 feet, 48 inches are in 4 feet, 60 inches are in 5 feet, 72 inches are in 6 feet, 84 inches are in 7 feet, 96 inches are in 8 feet, 108 inches are in 9 feet, and 120 inches are in 10 feet. So, what is the rule for converting feet to inches? Yep, we're going to take the number of feet and multiply times 12. So for every foot, we have 12 inches, so we multiply our number of feet by 12. All right, so now what I want you to do is, how can you find out how many inches are in 20 feet? Think to yourself, how can we find out how many inches are in 20 feet? You might be thinking, well, Mr. Co, we know how many inches are in 10 feet. So if we know how many inches are in 10 feet, which is 120 inches, then we can just multiply 120 inches times 2, or add 120 plus 120, because that's going to be 10 feet for each, and 10 plus 10 is 20. So 120 plus 120 should give us how many inches are in 2 feet. You can also multiply 20 times 12. So either way, that would give you 240 inches in 20 feet. Now, how would you be able to find out how many inches are in 6 feet? 5 inches. Go ahead and take a second to figure out how many inches are in 6 feet, 5 inches. We do have a mixed unit here, so we do want to see, we want to make sure that we don't forget about those 5 inches that are already in inches, and make sure to add it on to whatever amount of inches we get in 6 feet. All right, so we would look at our 6 feet. 6 feet times 12 is 72. We also know that from our chart here, so we would turn our feet into inches. So we've got 72 inches plus the 5 inches we already had, and that is going to give us 77 inches. Let's make sure that we are, because we need to add we can't add units that are not the same. So we have feet and inches. We want it in just inches. So we can't just add 6 plus 5 because feet can't be added to inches. We need to turn feet into inches in order to add. So your little letters for inches would be IN, and then like I said before, feet is FT. All right, so go ahead and I want you to try and figure out how many inches are in 25 feet, 5 inches. How many inches are in 25 feet, 5 inches? Go ahead and pause the video, give yourself some time to work, and play it whenever you're ready to go over the answer. All right, so you're ready to go over the answer. We could have done this in a variety of ways. You probably are thinking of some strategies that you used for our other conversion questions. So one thing you could do is you could do 20 feet and turn that into inches, and then 5 feet, turn that into inches, and add it on to the 5 inches we already have. So 20 feet we found out is equal to 240 inches. 5 feet, according to our chart, is equal to 60 inches. So we would add 240 inches plus 60, and that would give me 300 inches, but I can't forget to add it on to the 5 that I already have, which would give me 305 inches. You could have also done 25 times 12. So we would need to draw a area model because we're doing a 2-digit times 2-digit number. So we've got 25 and then 12. 20 times 10 is 200. 5 times 10 is 50. 20 times 2 is 40. And then 5 times 2 is 10. We would then add all those numbers up together. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And that would still give me my 300 inches, and then I would make sure to add it on to the 5 I already had to give me 305 inches. So as you can see, multiple ways that you can solve these types of problems, and just maybe you just like think flexibly about it. So that is all for this concept development video. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope you found this helpful and informative, and yeah, hope you guys are doing well, and until next time.